Hey guys, how's it going? I'm so glad to see you again, and I sincerely hope that you've been doing great lately. I, for one, am doing so much better. Today's a shorter episode, but I hope that you'll find it fun to listen to nonetheless. Also, it's kind of a late release, so my apologies about that. Let's get this ball rolling. I was doing some reading while I was under the weather, and I came across an interesting article. Now, let me ask you, what do you think that the first sign of human civilization was? That was the question asked by Yale students to their professor. I think her name was Margaret Mead. The students discussed, and they came to the conclusion that hunting with tools is an age-old human trait that dates back tens of millennia. So it could be a spear, or maybe it was religious artifacts, since no other species has pioneered religion before on this planet. What about grinding stones or, clay pots? In response to her students' questions, Professor Mead did not recite a source for religious artifacts or spears or arrowheads or grinding stones. No, it was a 15,000-year-old fractured femur bone found in an archaeological site. See, archaeologists can examine skeletons and find evidence of physical trauma by how bones are shaped. This femur in particular had been broken and healed. Without the benefit of modern medicine, the thigh bone can take up to 6 weeks of rest to heal. And so the professor explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You can't run away from danger. You can't run and hunt for food. You can't drink if you can't make it to water. Hurt and disabled in that way, you're just meat for predators. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the leg to heal. You get eaten first. So a healed femur is evidence that another human stayed behind, and they bound the fracture, and they moved the injured person out of harm's way. Somebody had to have provided shelter and food and stayed with them until they recovered. Somebody had to protect them from predators. A broken femur is proof that somebody has helped a fellow man rather than abandon them to save themselves. There's something deeply rooted in a human being, in every human, that wants us to help one another. There's a sense of community. There's a piece of us that wants to be kind. Contrary to popular doubt, I like to think that mankind is kind and good by nature. What else would drive you to steer your shopping cart into the cart return at the grocery store, or pick up a piece of litter off of the hiking trail? Of course, I'm aware that there are people who make poor decisions, and I know that there are people who are just straight up malicious and do evil stuff, but that's the price of having good in the world. Because if we didn't have misery, would there be any value in happiness, since there would be nothing to compare it with? How could you have good if you didn't have evil? How could we have joy in the sweet things if we didn't know bitterness? And it breaks my heart to see good people flip their nature because they buy into the belief that the good guys don't win, so why try? But we grow stronger when we remember that when we support and love our peers, it's not of grand benefit to ourselves. In fact, through the eyes of selfish people, charity and service is a liability of our time and money. But only if they knew the satisfaction that comes from such a kind liability. Only some know that a good deed is its own reward. And it's not rare to be rewarded by a kind favor in return. Let's see. Here's a story. One time, like 2 years ago, I met a veteran at a gas station with a cardboard sign that said, "Anything helps," in scratchy, thick, hand-drawn letters. So, of course, I gave him a wrinkled $1 bill, and he thanked me. As I rolled up the window, he asked, "Wait, don't you want to hear your joke?" So I read the smaller words on the sign, and turns out there's more words, and just beneath the bold letters, it said, "Jokes, $1." Well, of course I'd like to hear a joke. So he started to tell me. I was having lunch with God yesterday, and I asked him, "God, is it true that 1,000,000 years is a second to you?" And God said, "That's true." So I went on to ask, "What is $1 million to you?" And God said, "That's but a penny to me." And so I asked him, "God, can I have a penny?" And God said, "In just a second." Look, I personally don't think that bad will ever outnumber good. For every 10 bad things, there's a million good things going on in the world. For every horrid act of corrupted men, there are hundreds of people in soup kitchens feeding their neighbors in need. There's charitable people pulling out money from their wallet to give to the man on the street. There's strangers paying for strangers. There's compliments and there's hugs. As long as you see a shopping cart and the cart return, you can bet that there's still good values in the world. We can't force the world into change. The only way to change the world is to change ourselves first. And I encourage you, my friends, to become the person that you want everyone else to be, and to expect nothing in return. Give to the people in need and forget about it. Think nothing of it. Give a kind compliment to a stranger and expect silence. If you see a back that's bare, why not offer your shirt? What is $15 to you, and what is a shirt to the shirtless? Try to understand the misunderstood, but expect ridicule and expect insult. Even more so, when you're insulted, because that's going to happen. I hope that you just dust yourself off and walk away, because an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. The price of being a good person is dealing with the fact that not everyone's a good person. But to the man of charity, kindness, confidence, virtue, and love, the reward of being so is priceless and incomparable to any other possession. Look, that's all I got for today. But I'll see you next week. And I want you to take a deep breath, drink some water, eat some fruit, get some sun. As always, I want you to take care of yourself and love yourself because you're awesome. I'll see you next week. You have a wonderful day. It looks like that wasn't a short episode after all.